There is much drama about the perfect storm, high seas, and the need for life rafts so that one can survive the elements of the open ocean for weeks or months far from land. The drama, however, is mostly just drama. With modern devices such as EPIRBs and satellite phones, no one needs to be at sea in a life raft for extended lengths of time. Though any sailor on the ocean should be prepared for the long haul, a properly equipped vessel should see rescue efforts within hours if within range of land-based rescue assets, or within a few days if far at sea. What's more, most lives are not lost far out at sea, but are in coastal waters, in good weather, often in sight of land. The most common reason life rafts are deployed are fire or a collision with an object in the water. People survive the fires and survive the sinkings. What few people realize is that they often don't survive long in the water in a life preserver. Remember, though life jackets are always mandatory, a life jacket will only keep you afloat, not warm. The core temperatures of the human body will drop 30% faster when immersed in water than in air. The colder the water, the faster the body loses heat. It is important to know that even in 75-degree water, you are still more than 20 degrees below your body temperature. When one is immersed in cool or cold water, hypothermia will eventually set in, and hypothermia is deadly. So if you travel more than a mile or two from shore, this is a very compelling reason to equip your boat with a REVERE life raft. Without question, the best escape from a burning or sinking vessel is both a life jacket and a life raft, a REVERE life raft. A good life raft is a survival platform that can provide protection from hypothermia, unfriendly sea creatures, rough water, hot sun, and bad weather, and it presents a highly visible rescue target. The other advantage? Ask even a landlubber to get into a raft during an emergency and they can probably figure out how to do it. And quickly. Since 1936, REVERE Survival Products has been the premier American supplier of life rafts and survival supplies. REVERE offers a complete range of life rafts for recreational boats, large yachts, and commercial vessels. Every raft in our selection exceeds the standards set forth for the type and size required. Dollar for dollar, the impeccable quality and range of choice of REVERE life rafts is unmatched by our competition. REVERE offers premium quality yet economical life-saving solutions for recreational boaters. These include a choice of U.S. Coast Guard approved and SOLAS rafts to suit any application. We also have a qualified staff that can advise you on the best raft and survival equipment to meet your needs. If your need is to stay alive, then your need is REVERE Survival Products.
Getting out of my REVERE life raft was the second best thing I had ever done. Getting into it was the first.
This brief overview presents a fundamental understanding of proper life raft and survival equipment selection, onboard storage, raft deployment, equipment packs, and use. On a private vessel, the best practice is to equip it with a life raft size for the rated passenger capacity of the boat. Selecting a raft with an insulated floor is a good option as it offers added protection from hypothermia and also builds in another large flotation chamber. A raft with a canopy will also offer greater protection from the elements and help keep the occupants dry and warm. Stow the life jackets, raft, EPIRB, and ditch bag in easily accessible areas topside. Typically, life jackets, the ditch bag, and valise-packed life raft should be stowed under a seat in the cockpit or in a lazare. Eyebrow stowage on the bridge of a sport fisherman or under the helm seat is also a good option. Stowage below deck should be avoided as a fast-sinking boat or a fire, which generally would start below decks, could prevent access to the raft and life jackets. E-curbs are sometimes stowed on an auto-releasing external mount. These are known as Category 1 units and will deploy the E-curb automatically when the boat sinks 9 to 15 feet underwater. Category 2 E-curbs are mounted on a manual release bracket and can be mounted on a bulkhead close to the helm or kept with the life raft, ditch bag, or other survival gear. Canister-packed life rafts should be stowed on deck or on the cabin top. Canisters should not be mounted too far forward as retrieval and deployment could be excessively dangerous in rough seas. Periodic professional inspection and service is required to keep your life raft in top operating condition. The vessel skipper should always ensure that the passengers know where to find the life jackets, life raft, fire extinguishers, and other safety equipment, including a ditch bag if available. A ditch bag is a separate purchase from the life raft and should be pre-packed with additional survival gear, including a handheld VHF radio and perhaps a small reverse osmosis water maker, as well as other items such as medicine that may be needed by the survivors. Everyone on the vessel should also know how to properly wear a life jacket and deploy the life raft and use all other survival equipment. An emergency situation is no time to be training for an emergency. In bad weather or in an emergency, all passengers should wear their life jackets. It is better to be prepared even if the situation appears to be under control. A valise-packed life raft should be placed in a secure position and the painter line tied off to prevent the raft from blowing or drifting away. Throw the raft into the water on the lee side, ensuring that it is clear of the vessel to avoid fouling the inflation of the raft. Pull the painter until it is taut, and then give a sharp pull to trigger the firing head and start the inflation. If close boarding can be safely accomplished, pull the raft alongside and hold it there until everyone on board the distressed vessel is in the life raft. Canister life rafts can be deployed manually or automatically. Manual deployment is similar to a valise-packed raft. Release the canister from the cradle, throw the canister over the lee side, and pull the painter line to activate inflation of the raft. On a proper canister installation, the painter line will always be attached to the cradle. There are several things to remember if a canister life raft is left to automatic deployment and inflation. First, a canister's hydrostatic release will not activate until it has sunk 9 to 15 feet below the surface. Second, the painter will not trigger the life raft inflation until the vessel has sunk to the end of the painter line, usually 30 to 50 feet. In any situation other than a fast sinking in deep water, it is advised to deploy the canister manually. Passengers can safely board before the raft is completely inflated. Hand off or toss the ditch bag with pre-packed survival gear to a person in the raft. Jumping into the raft is a safe way to quickly depart a burning or sinking vessel. However, it is sometimes advisable to keep the raft at a distance to prevent damage from fire or snagging from the rig of a rolling or sinking vessel. In this event, jump into the water, stay together, and swim to the raft. In a waterboarding situation, it is best that the strongest person board first to assist the others into the raft. A throwing quoit or ring is on the raft to help pull survivors to the raft. Revere boarding ramps and steps, as well as boarding ladders, are designed for the easiest raft entry in the industry. Should the distressed vessel remain afloat and not present danger to the life raft and its occupants, it is best to keep the painter attached to the vessel. This will present a larger target for rescuers to spot. Otherwise, cut the painter with the knife supplied on the raft. Once clear of the vessel, deploy the sea anchor. Some life rafts will self-deploy the sea anchor automatically. In conjunction with the large ballast pockets on the underside of the raft, the sea anchor will stabilize the life raft by keeping the bow facing into the wind and the windward side down to dramatically reduce the chance of blowover. The sea anchor also helps to force large waves to roll under instead of over the life raft. This system slows the drift and will keep the life raft moving with a predictable current, enhancing search and rescue operations. Each life raft comes supplied with an equipment pack that includes a variety of survival tools, including flares and first aid kits. The size and application of the life raft determines the type of equipment pack supplied. The activation and deployment of the EPIRB is vital for fast and accurate rescue. In a manual deployment, tie off the painter line on the EPIRB to the life raft and activate it by placing it into the water and floating it alongside the life raft. Some EPIRBs require manual switching to activate, while others are both manual and water activated. The 406 MHz EPIRB is registered with the government and will identify your vessel and location. A GPS-equipped EPIRB will also transmit and continually update your latitude and longitude location to within about 100 feet. The GPS-equipped EPIRB takes the search out of search and rescue. Once activated, the rescue units know who you are and where you are. Finally, treat any injury. Dry the interior and distribute necessary items from both the ditch bag and the equipment pack as required. When a rescue vessel or aircraft is spotted, activate the appropriate flare to enhance your visibility to the rescuers. Parachute flares, handheld flares, and smoke flares are provided in most of the equipment packs. Utilize the handheld VHF radio from your ditch bag to communicate with rescuers. Remember, a faster, safer rescue will happen if you can talk directly with the rescuers. REVERE Survival Products is now distributing economical life rafts of exceptional quality that were not previously available in the industry. These rafts offer every boater the ability to safely equip their vessels at a reasonable price.